Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another HAULiday update. Today we're going to look at some stuff from the sci-fi and fantasy collections here, some new additions. The thing is, I got so much for that particular wonderful pair of genres that I'm going to split it up into two updates, just to, give everything its proper day in court, as it were. So this time around, we're going to take a look at sci-fi and fantasy movies. Now, it's mostly sci-fi because I tend to lean more towards the sci-fi than the fantasy, but I love both. Anyway, movies, sci-fi, and some fantasy today on the HAULiday updates on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. All right, so let's just dive right into it here. So first up, I'd heard a lot of good things about this movie. Thought it was about time I checked it out. It was cheap on Black Friday, so I figured, why not? Arrival. Well, there, see? Look at that. Yeah, light's a little bright. Anyway, Arrival, which is by, who directed this one again? Somebody notable. Denis Villeneuve, that's right. The guy who did Blade Runner 2049, which I have yet to see or pick up. You won't see it in this update because I haven't picked it up yet. Yeah, it came out after all the bills had been paid, like sort of between paychecks, so probably going to get it on the next one. Next up, well, I'm a big fan of this particular creator's work, and I thought it was about time I checked out this adaptation of one of his other heroes, Kull, the Conqueror, yes. So this is basically an adaptation of Kull, which was kind of the predecessor of Conan, another Robert E. Howard creation. In fact, he wrote a lot of the Kull adventures prior to writing Conan, and then Conan kind of evolved out of some of those ideas. But this is the one and only movie that's ever been done thus far, based on Kull, starring Hercules himself, Kevin Sorbo. So, pretty cool. We talk about extras. What do we got here? Extras on the Arrival. We have over 80 minutes of special features. We've got xenolinguistics, understanding Arrival. Acoustic signatures, the sound design. External recurrence, the score. Nonlinear thinking, the editorial process. And principles of time, memory, and language. So, all kinds of featurettes about the movie. And then Kull, we have nothing, apparently. Oh, well, it's Kull. What more do you need? All right, so next up, I am a huge fan of the original of this, and thought it was high time I picked up the sequel. So the original being Westworld, the sequel being Future World. Yes, so I finally picked up Future World. I have seen this before, but have never actually owned it, so I thought it was about time that I got it as a nice companion to the original movie. Very cool stuff. I love Westworld, and yes, I have seen the HBO series. It is fantastic. We're finally getting season 2 this year. Awesome. Great stuff. So this doesn't have much in the way of special features. You got the theatrical trailer, some radio spots, and a still gallery, and that is it. So, yeah, so Shout Factory put this one out for us a while back. The original one is just from Warner Brothers and features, the original has a featurette, I guess an archival featurette, if I recall correctly, about the making of the movie, and the 1980 TV pilot for Beyond Westworld, which was the first time Westworld had been adapted into a TV series. Didn't last very long, only like 8 episodes, but it is on DVD. One of these days I will pick it up. Now, next up, I took forever to get this particular movie because I couldn't remember which one was which. It's one of those series of movies that does not clearly number the sequels, so I wasn't sure which one I still needed. Well, I finally figured it out by cleverly looking at the release years of each movie. It's like, okay, whichever one is the most recent one, that's the one I need, and thankfully I was correct. I'm, of course, talking about Insurgent. Ooh, look at that cool lenticular cover. Yeah, very nice. So this is part of the Divergent series, of which the first is Divergent, and then the second is, I'm still confused, and the second is Allegiant. So I have not watched any of them. They are actually a blind buy. My mother, who likes a lot of the same types of things I do, recommended it. So I figured, okay, I'll pick them up as they come out. Apparently there's one more movie coming out. The original books were a trilogy. They're doing the last book as 2 movies. Surprise, surprise. It just seems to be the thing nowadays. So there is a 4th movie coming out that's apparently going to wrap the whole thing up. So I don't know what it's called, but it's going to be something equally confusing, I'm sure. And then let's see, what else here? What else did I get? Oh, yes. Speaking of trilogies, remakes can be such a mixed bag. But I have to say this one is the exception rather than the rule. I'm a huge fan of the original series of movies that this is based on. I loved the first 2 movies in this new reboot, reimagining, remake, whatever you want to call it, alternate universe. So I'm really looking forward to checking out the 3rd one. We have War of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, so of course also have Rise and Dawn. I don't know if they're doing more. Maybe they will, but they're calling it the Apes Trilogy now, and they seem to be selling them all together. But, yeah, anyway, good stuff. And I forgot to mention the extras on the other ones, didn't I? Yeah, it's the same cover inside. But this is the 3D version, of course. For whatever reason, I've never picked up the 3D versions of these. I don't know why. Maybe because the 2D versions always seem to go so cheap. So Insurgent has over 4 hours of bonus features. Insurgent Unlocked, the ultimate behind-the-scenes access, a feature-length, in-depth look at all aspects of the movie for the ultimate fan. From Divergent to Insurgent, Diverging, adapting Insurgent to the screen, The Others, cast and characters, The Train Fight, Unlocked, The Peter Hayes Story, Marketing Gallery, and audio commentary with the producers. So, very cool. And War of the Planet of the Apes, we've got the movie in 3D on disc 1, and that's it. And then on disc 2, we've got the 2D version of the film, along with audio commentary by director Matt Reeves, deleted scenes with optional audio commentary by director Matt Reeves, Apes, The Meaning of It All, and more. I love it when they have and more. That's my favorite special feature. All right, anyway. Now, this is another one that I heard was quite good. I find that the director of this is kind of hit and miss, but overall I enjoy his stuff. And apparently, this ties in with one of his other movies. And I won't say which one for those of you who haven't seen it. I actually still haven't seen the movie, but I know the twist because it was such a big one and people just could not keep quiet about it. But anyway, we wanted to check this out. Really love the lead actor in this as well. We have James McAvoy in Split, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. So, very cool stuff. I'm really looking forward to this, especially now that I know how it ties into one of M. Night Shyamalan's other movies. So he's kind of creating his own little cinematic universe there, the Shyamalaniverse. Anyway, and I love James McAvoy. I think he's just a fantastic actor. I've enjoyed him in everything that I've seen him in. Just great stuff. So, what do we got here for extras? Yeah, it's the same cover inside. Whoops. Yeah, same stuff in there. Just a nice bumpy slipcover. So, very nice. Bonus features got alternate ending and deleted scenes with introductions by M. Night Shyamalan. The making of Split, the many faces of James McAvoy, and the filmmaker's eye, M. Night Shyamalan. So, very cool. Definitely looking forward to checking that out. Now, last but most certainly not least, I have this particular science fiction opus based on a long-running series of graphic novels that I had actually never heard of. Apparently, The Fifth Element took some inspiration from the original graphic novels, and the director of this has been wanting to adapt those graphic novels for a very long time. And when he wasn't able to make that happen, he kind of, paid homage in some ways with The Fifth Element. Well, he finally got the rights to the actual story, so a lot of people have been saying, hey, some parts of this kind of are reminiscent of The Fifth Element. It's like, well, yeah, that's kind of kind of the idea. The director really wanted to do this, but couldn't, so he did The Fifth Element, which is kind of a sci-fi story in the same spirit, as it were, and a wonderful movie in its own right. So I'm, of course, talking about Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. Yeah, so very cool. So apparently the graphic novel series has been just a labor of love for its creators that they have been doing literally for decades. And you can find reprints of most, if not all of them, available now. But apparently, sadly, the movie apparently didn't do very well, so we're probably not going to get any more. But this one adapts a couple of the popular story arcs from the comic, apparently. But yeah, I thought this looked amazing from what I saw in the trailers, and I took a little gander around and checked out a little bit of the comics, and it's fantastic. It's just grand, sweeping, epic sci-fi of the greatest kind, with a bit of a pulp sci-fi sensibility to it, you know. Great stuff. Anyway, really looking forward to watching this in all its glory. And then in terms of extras, we have Citizens of Imagination, creating the universe of Valerian, enhancement pods, and the Art of Valerian photo gallery. Wow, it didn't even get much of a, you know, that spectacular of a Blu-ray release. I mean, even the slipcover is fairly straightforward. It's just, you know, got the embossed logo and a little bit of shininess, and that's about it. And no 3D version, even though I'm pretty sure it was in 3D in the theaters. So, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, Valerian. The world just didn't find you as enrapturing as some of us did. Anyway, I love Luc Besson's work, and I really look forward to checking this out, because I think he's an awesome director, and he's done some great stuff over the years, and his movies are always a treat. So I'm looking forward to that one a lot. And there you go. That is it for the sci-fi and fantasy. So when I say sci-fi and fantasy, there's literally one fantasy. The rest is all sci-fi. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. So we'll see you next time for the sci-fi TV shows. Yeah, and I think there's one fantasy one there too. So be sure to check that out. Some pretty cool acquisitions for the TV show collection, some of which are pretty major additions that I'm pretty excited about. So we'll see you then for that one. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Big thanks to my Patreon sponsors. Be sure to join us on the Discord if you want to join in on some ongoing geek chat. Not just geek chat, we talk about everything over there. Just a general life and just BS and politics, and there's a wrestling forum if you like wrestling. We show off our pickups. There's like a show and tell forum, so you get to actually see a lot of our pickups long before we do our update videos and stuff like that. So just a lot of fun. So swing on by and check it out. It's totally free. All you got to do is make a username for yourself, basically, and that's it. Alrighty, that is it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.